you see those videos of like people turning $1,000, you know, selling Legos. There's a guy does this with Legos. There's Pokemon, obviously, whatever. They turn $1,000 into X amount of money, and they make those videos. So I thought that would be cool for Yu-Gi-Oh! And a particularly good challenge, because I think for most of us that are in the hobby, we know that basically 99% of these cards don't go up in value. In fact, they go down.
Another Blue Eyes Ultimate 2350. Everyone getting out of this card again, exiting like the plague here.
So a lot of times when you buy a collection with the intention of, you know, selling the cards individually, a lot of times you got to sell them within the first week, or else, you know, the profits continually diminish. So I thought it would be an apt time to do this, and there's not really a lot in the hobby that I want. There's a SDY Dark Magician. It's at $14,000, way too high. I understand, you know, the hype recently, but I think that card's valued at like $2,000, $2,500. I missed an auction, I think last year, for like $1,500, $1,600, so that kind of sucks. But that card would be cool to have. There's a TP1, the Beetle, Hercules or something. It's a BGS 10, that'd be awesome to have. I think 3,500 is a little bit too much. And then there's the SYE Ritual BLS, which is a notoriously difficult card to grade because of primarily the damage out of the pack. That would be a card I really do want. That's probably the card I want the most. It's only like $1,000. So we're gonna say we're gonna try to turn $1,000 into like $10,000. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's taper those expectations. It's probably not going to happen. I'm very busy, but it'd be a fun little challenge to do on the side. So I took $1,000, bought this collection. It was about $900. Really good buy. I don't buy often, but when I do, I buy very smart. I've already started trying to go through these, and I've listed some, I've sold some, so we'll kind of see that process here. You know, that's going to be the challenge. I was going through looking for some pickups that I had recently got, and I realized that I had this. And so this is probably another card that I really, really want in 9.5 Gem Mint. It would be super cool to get this. You can see how close this one was. Actually, it was a full point. Yeah, the surface. I don't know what was on the surface. I might crack this and try again. And then the other two cards I picked up recently are these. I love Satellite Cannon, one of my favorite cards. These don't, there's not a whole ton of these out there. So I'm super happy to have this one. Dark Paladin MFC 9.5. I've graded several of these. These cards always have centering problems. But anyways, to get into the roughly $900 collection. So these cards, these have all been listed. It's got a really good mix of kind of like, not all old school, but there's a lot of old school stuff, or like reprint old school stuff. So, or staples. You know, there's not really that much bulk in here. Everything is pretty much $1, you know, within $1. And typically those cards will sell really well. So I didn't know this was in it, but this is one of them. It's definitely gradable. It's centered well, good surface, so that'll go get graded. I'm not sure how the best way to do this is going to be, like, quickly, because cards that are worth grading and minty, I mean, I'm probably going to go get them graded. Probably through CGC, just because I don't like PSA. I don't support PSA, and also, this is really cool. This is an ultra rare. You see the name there is ultra. So that's a cool one. So these are my cards that I'll grade. These, I guess, 5 so far. I don't know what's in this binder. Probably going to grade the poly because it's collectible. This is a really cool card. If I grade that, I might keep it. I don't know if it's worth grading this one. Oh, I'm not going to grade that, the Gaia, but that's just a cool card. I think as long as we can profit, we're gonna definitely be grading stuff. So let's just go through some of these. I've alphabetized some of these already. I'll kind of show you how I have this stuff set up. What I do is I go by and I basically put a little dot from near mint. Basically, one is one lower from near mint, which is light play, and then 2 is mod play. No mark is going to be near mint. So I go through and see, these are like really liquid cards, are either playable or people like to collect old school stuff. So there's plenty of that in here. Love that card. See, there's my boy. So people love this stuff. So this stuff's already listed. Actually, no, this stuff's not listed. This lot with the Abyss Dweller, these cards are listed. So I mean, going through this, like, I expect to list this and probably sell 30% within the first day. Very, very, very liquid, very quick sellers. Here's the rest of that. That's a first ed Legendary Fisherman. So that's pretty cool. A lot of staples, classic stuff. People like. I mean, this is like a lot of just old school, pretty much, or stuff people use. Like, once this stuff gets listed, I mean, I don't see those two piles having any difficulty selling. Here's some random stuff. I really don't know. Like, I'm not a big fan of quarter century secret rares in the TCG. Honestly, because the Starlights are the cool ones, the ones with the silver names, but like, I don't know if they're worth grading. And then just random slabs that are worth probably like whatever the raw price is. I don't know. Maybe they're $10 a piece, something like that. Those were free, quote unquote free. So into the binder now. Let's. I actually haven't seen this. So that's a Mama Stardust Black Rose, all quick sellers. That's cool. Just, man, this is pretty good. Oh, that's cool. Heartbeat's Pet Baby Dragon, Fearsome Fire Blast. That's a cool card. I like that. It's MRD, like the 25th anniversary LOB, all that stuff reprints. Yeah, I mean, this stuff should be quick sellers. This card, these cards, I meant to be picking them up, but I kind of didn't pick up as many as I wanted to. I have quite a few, but I know when they came out they were going to be bangers long term, but which is not a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. That's cool stuff. All this stuff, all the Blue Eyes, anything Blue Eyes sells really fast. Oh, that's nice. That's a DMG. That's a first ed one. Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. This is all going to be very liquid, very easy to sell. Should be no problem. You know, Jinzos, the waifu, the effect veilers, all that stuff sells really fast. Probably all this stuff's wind up $1 or $2 as well. So, oh, nice. It's got a ghost rare and a full Exodia set. 2 ghost rares actually. So that's one binder. Hopefully I did okay for $900. And what I'm showing you is not everything. I've probably sold about $100 worth of stuff. Outside of the binders, there were a couple packages of just like cards. What is this? Bebromancer Geek Boy. These are the Speed Duels gods. Oh yeah, I love this. I love this guy. These fakes. Skeleton loving demon, dude. It's transported to cemetery. After finish, it's ready to control the opponent's demon. It's ridiculous. That is not one that is not for sale, so don't ask. I'm not selling that. Again, this is surprising. A lot of really easy to sell cards. You know, we've got like how many Nibirus? People like to play that. This card, Malicious, I always liked it, and it's surprisingly people buy it. Pot of Greed. you know, should be easy stuff. There's some IOC reprint stuff in there, infinite impermanence. So this is how I have it set up currently. This is all my stuff that's currently listed for TCG Player, and it's just alphabetized. But the way we're gonna handle tracking how I do this is I've got a spreadsheet, and I'll probably put it in a separate like bin for the cards that like our challenge lot, I guess. But you know, this is the stuff we have currently listed on TCG. That's a World WP11 card that I cannot sell for the life of me. But okay, so here's my current spreadsheet. It's crazy in 2026 recording a screen with a camera, but I don't, whatever, man. This is kind of how I started it, and if you can see, like, this is telling me I'm doing around 75% of my sold price, so 25% is for fees and shipping. I'm not sure how correct that is. I'm gonna have to play with these numbers a little bit. Apparently I only sold $40. I thought I sold like 100. Because TCG Player doesn't really match that. And like the way this calculation is done is it's 30 cents per transaction. So that's what these ones are. Like each one of these is a transaction because sometimes people buy multiple cards. This card, man, if you want to speculate, this is the card to buy. I'll tell you what. The other one, the other card that I'm really happy that has gone up. I really like Dark Paladin. So this one from Duelist Pack Yugi has gone up a lot. I'm glad it has, because I have like 40 copies of this. So let's check our sales here. And forgive me, I'm just like lazy today. I will be better about it. Okay, so we have 4 sales. I would guess that these are all probably from that new lot, but that's like, I don't know, $10. The other piece of this is I don't have one of those fancy scanners where you just put the cards in and it can do like 1,000 in an hour or something. I've got to do these manually. So I got to go into TCG Player and start typing the card in, find it, do the condition and all that. So that's not the fun. That's not fun. And that's usually why I buy collections and they sit, because I don't want to do that, which is it's an interesting thing. I want to buy the collections to try to churn, yet I don't do that. I often just let them sit there because I don't feel like listing. But let's list this stack. This card is $10. Everybody knows that guy. Mod play copies of this card is $20. Of unlimited SDK Blue Eyes is $20. Mod play. First edition Diffusion from LON. That's a cool card. Dude, this card, Graceful Charity's Ben, right? $18. Is that insane? Dude, a lot of these collector's rare cards, they're so nice. Like, I know people don't care about them that much, but like, dude, they are... I know the lighting's bad, I'm sorry. It's rainy today and I don't have a light in this room. But that's gorgeous. So near mint is $25 and a light play copy is $5. Dude, SDP Relinquished first edition near mint is $38. Alright, well, so that's about 50-ish cards. It's a lot faster than you might think. It took only about 10 minutes. So, you know, once you get used to selling stuff like this quickly, it's pretty fast. So some of these cards I might wind up selling on eBay just because they will go for a little bit more. On eBay there is a little bit of an arbitrage there for some of the higher end cards. Maybe Judgment of Anubis and the Blue Eyes, as well as the Relinquish, probably will be on eBay. Pretty clean cards. So yeah, I might wind up, because I think this Judgment too was like $30, right? Yeah, so this was $20. The Blue Eyes was also $20. Even though it is MP. And what else? Dude, Ciaru, this card in Near Mint is $35. But that is not, unfortunately, I cannot, that's not Near Mint. It just simply isn't. Yeah, it's definitely not. I wish it was, but it ain't. So, dude, this Magician Souls. The thing about these collector's rares is I hate the added sparkle. I hate that they're prismatic collector's rares. If they were just collector's rares, they would be so much better. I mean, but dude, this card is gorgeous. It makes me not want to sell it, to be honest. That is such a cool... Dude, the texture on this, like you can kind of see it. Phenomenal. Anyways, I'll see you in the next episode.